What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I am just taking a quick video here. We're cleaning out some of the frass in the bottom of this bin. I should have started this a few minutes ago, but I figured let me get something in while I can. This is my roach bin. It's in a 27-gallon container. You can get those from Home Depot with those yellow lids. We have a small hole in this lid. It's got aluminum, I think it's 16th inch screen there. Our castings have been, sorry, I was talking about worms. Our stuff here is about 1.5 inches thick, so it's time to get changed. Our probe here is measuring, inside the frass down at the bottom, so it's not getting the proper heat to the bin. And we got to change that. In the meantime, what I started doing was pulling out some of the egg crates already. This is just a small cleaning of the frass. I'm not actually changing the crates out, splitting the bin or anything like that. We are simply just cleaning out the bottom. And what I'm going to do for tonight is just take the crates out, put the new ones in, but I'll show you how many we've got in there. It's been going now for about 6 months. A little longer. May, it's just end of December here, so May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, so about 8 months actually. This only started with about 50, I think, females. Constant paying attention to it. If you're not going to be able to do fantastic husbandry, you're never going to get results like this. I check this every day. I make sure the food and water are sufficient, as well as the humidity, the temperature, things like that. Anyway, back to where we're at here. I'm not going to split the crates off for today. I'll just start pulling them out, show you guys what we're working with. So here's our bin. You can see in the back there, that's my humidistat. It's a Vivarium electronic. They stopped making them, but that's a high power. Takes in a couple more watts. It's set at 87 degrees. The probe right now sitting on the floor is 64 degrees. This is above my garage, so this floor is terribly cold compared to the rest of the house. But that's why it's on this heat tape, which you can see in the back corner here below it. Anyway, we continue here. So what I'm doing is just tilting them both ways. We're gonna have a couple roaches fall off just to get these out of the, get as much frass out of there as I can. You can see there's a ton of females now. There's a new female down here in the corner. I'm not going to sift this out perfectly tonight, but we'll get something cleaned up here. I'm going to actually make new buckets for these. When I sold the business, I gave all that stuff away, so I got to redo all that for the time being. They love this double side bin, or this side crate here. These females are looking nice and fat. We've had temperatures all below freezing the last few days. Doesn't help with A, our heat bill, B, heat in this thing. And that's why I figured it was time to change them out. I am trying to be pretty quick when I change them over here, so they're not ending up on the floor and stuff. Ava would kill me. Here's our final crate there. These crates have been going strong. They definitely last longer when you take care of them better. These are just a few in there. Of course, our water bin. But let me just look around real quick. Double check we got nothing on the ground. We're doing great. Okay, so that's what's left in there. Let me see what I can do here. I didn't think this far ahead. Where can I put this stuff in? And we're gonna have to get the rest of those out of there somehow. I'm out of egg crates at the moment, but let me think. I'm back. I was a little silly goose and forgot to check for this moment. Anyway, I had another one of these containers, a Husky version, which is the red ones from Home Depot, outside on my deck, buried in snow. So we're gonna use that real quick. I'm just gonna pull this little lady out of here. She's got a fresh fresh molt, so I don't want her to get distorted in the process. So what I'm gonna do here is take that bin, dump it in this bin, and put this one back together. So we're gonna back this up real quick. Carefully slide that out of the way. Move this over. The only reason I'm not using this bin, again, it's a little shorter than that one, which is a little shorter than that one. And this one's pre-set up ready. So our next bin to use will be this guy in the back for the time being. If I can get enough roaches breeding and fill this room up, I have a better system. But for now, we're gonna focus on this. I know I blew this up to about 500 roach bins before I sold, and that's fun and all, but it's not as glorified as you want it to be because it's a lot of work. I want to be able to do this on a micro scale, actually focusing on optimization in terms of being able to do this on my property without building a separate building, without having to be working 80 hours a week, things like that. So let me dump this real quick. Oh, something stuck to it. There we go. I am not going to make this perfect because I don't want to smack all that stuff around. Let that dust settle real quick. Straighten this back out. There's about 3 gallons worth of material in here. Let me see if I can zoom in on that right there. Move my ugly little knee out of the way. There's your material. There's a bunch of roaches in there still. I'm not going to hand pick those out. I'll put an egg crate in. I'm going to put one of those egg crates over here in there in a little bit once I get them all back in the normal bin. So actually what I'll do is I'll do that now. Slide this back out of the way. Bring this over here. It's got a few water crystals in it. Nothing crazy. We'll reuse those for now. I just put those in yesterday. I'm going to come real close to this bin. I'm going to shake these off. Get us a nice clean start. Throw that sucker right in there. Let me show you how this works. So there's just one sitting on top. Here's our regular roaches. These roaches are lucky they even get a view of the driveway. Get back to it here. Let me see if I can adjust our camera angle. How about that? Oops. Zoom in a little bit for you. So you can watch these guys as they get put away. There's probably 10,000 babies or more in here. But what I'm looking to do, I'll actually take this piece right here. You can see they're stuffed right inside of there. Make sure this is all clean. Send this in the extra bin as well. We'll just start getting this put back together. I'd estimate there's about 600 to 700 adult females in here now, all of which breeding happily and fat and happy. There's that new one from before, fresh molt. Drop that, my bad. Now there is a system to putting these egg crates in there. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'll show you. Flat edge to the back side of a flat edge. The next one is going to be, the front side is rounded at the top, so it goes flat, flat, round, round, flat, flat, round, round. You're going to make these little pockets for them to live in. I'll show you what I mean. We're going to take that one there. So they'll live in between these two because it's close enough where they can still climb around, but they do like it very tight. You can see one coming out right there. So every other one has a small pocket and a big pocket. And you can also fit more in here, which means you're going to have more surface area, which means, you can fit more crates in here, which will give you more surface area, which will give you more roaches to fit in one container. So there's two different types of egg crates. You can see the ones with the plus at the bottom. Those are considered a CX30. I don't remember what the other ones are called. 30 stands for, obviously, 30 eggs. When I used to buy them in bulk, I would buy those. It didn't really bother me though. I thought they had more strength. The other ones are these flat bottoms. I felt like these didn't have as much strength. It didn't last as long. This egg crate specifically right here, you can see the pluses at the bottom, which I assume is where the X comes from in the CX30. But it has this extra strength around the edge. This is a fairly new crate, but they do hold more weight in my opinion. What I'm gonna do to fill that gap there is take my final two, slide them right in there. I do have this 12 count egg crate. I lay that on top. I feel like that gives it a little bit of like a cover for warmth. This probe I'm going to stick down right in the middle of that piece there. I don't like to put it on the end one because it doesn't work as well, so I put it in the middle. Here is a small piece which just happened to be ripped up, and another small piece. So for now, I'll let those guys sit right over there. This is what we're left with at the bottom. You're gonna end up with a little frass. There's a roach in the bottom there. I see two of them in there. We'll double check this after the video. Actually, I can see it right there. Pretty clean. All right. Now, while we were sitting there, if you remember, we had our spare bin. So we put that egg crate on the top. This is what it pulled out so far. Just tap those off. When I used to be in my warehouse, this would be a lot more aggressive just to get them gone or get them off there, but until I rebuild this, I'm not putting these, not in a roach cleanable, roach proof room. This is just my spare office for now. All right, we're gonna put that one back in here, and we're gonna continue this process for the next few hours. So hours or minutes, whatever I can get it down to. A great way to strain the frass out completely is if you get a strainer. I like the 1/8 inch strainer. It'll fall through. And then that's probably what I'll end up doing tomorrow is I'll drill a hole in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket to get out of there. And there's gonna be a couple exoskeletons that'll be left, and I'll pour those back in. They'll get eaten over time by either dermicid beetles or just break down naturally, or little by little they'll get eliminated. I will show you guys in the long term or in the long run on a separate video how to eliminate those and get strictly extra smalls left, but low air pressure, that's the key I'll give you. But we're gonna work on this. I'm gonna give them some food in a few minutes here, and then this is gonna go right back on top. If you guys can see, I do put them right next to this heater as well, so when my heat turns on, it also warms that edge of the bin. I don't let it touch because I don't want it to melt, but it is a great system. This particular piece of heat tape, I can get about 4 bins on. I have more of this. I used to buy it by the 500-foot roll. Works fantastic, highly recommend it. I used to keep my ambient temperature at about 80 degrees in there, and then these guys would always be on for backups if needed. Did raise your electric bill a ton, but better safe than sorry when you have 400 and 500 bins worth of roaches. So hope this helps. I'm just showing you guys how much you can really fit in a 27-gallon bin there. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions.